Hi, I'm Graeme Sinclair. I'm proud to be a Lifemark ambassador. I've just moved into my new Lifemark home. Compared to the old one, this house represents total freedom. Why? Because the Lifemark features mean that I can go where I like, do what I like, and use this house to maximum benefit. Now, come on guys, it's not rocket science. This is just common sense. Lifemark is common sense. So if we want to get serious about future houses in New Zealand and ensuring that their design is to best advantage for everybody, then get yourself the Lifemark warrant of fitness and ensure that when you build or specify that what you have is these features clearly in mind, because it is, as I said, common sense. Welcome to our new home in Stillwater. We've decided to build according to a common sense plan. It's called Lifemark. Now, some of the standards you should be aware of for Lifemark are wide doors. What they allow, of course, is for someone in a wheelchair, you can just glide on in. Also, big wide hallway. Access is the real issue. Now, also things like light switches. They're at an accessible height. Plugs, they're off the floor at a level where you can actually plug something in readily. Now, what we're doing is putting extra nogs in the bathroom. Those are the little wooden bits that go on the wall that you can put weight on. Reason for that is that when you're on a disabled toilet and you've got to get off, transfer back to a wheelchair for example, you use a little bar off the wall and push. So it has to be set at the right height. So clearly, once the jib's on, you haven't got any nogs in there, you've got no meat to screw those bars into. But the final piece of information, and relates to where I am now, is that this shower is a wheel-in shower. Access critical all the way through the house, no more so than in the shower. The benefits of a Lifemark home start before you even get in the door. You've got level access entry. The alarm code, just hit the button and shuts the alarm down. The entranceway covered and well lit. Very important when you come home late at night and you want to get in. Another feature, very wide entrance doorway, and then keyless entry. So you just punch in the code, and you're not going to see what this is, but it will let me in because it loves me. So the real benefits of a Lifemark home, the benefits that relate to common sense, most of them are in here. So why don't you come in and have a look? So that level access extends into the house, very wide hallway, once again well lit, but wait till you see what's in here. Well, this is the famous bathroom, level entry access all the way. If you saw it during the construction phase, you would have seen that we put extra knobs in the walls, and one of the places was near the toilet, and that enabled us to affix this bar, and I used that to transfer to and from the toilet as any old chariot driver would. And the second place where we put extra nogs was in the shower cubicle. And one reason for that is to be able to affix a fold down seat. I just transfer from the chair obviously onto the seat, and then use this rail attached to this pre-nogged area to transfer back onto the chair again once I've got myself squeaky clean. So that's it. That's the classic chariot driver's wheel in, wheel out, clean yourself up bathroom. It's fantastic. In fact, it's common sense. Now this monstrosity is a standing frame, but it's not very social because I get parked in one spot. But because of the side of this bench, I can glide in here, have a glass of wine, be incredibly social. Even if I want a glass of water, taps, very easy to operate, turn them where you like. Sensational. Now come and have a look at the other side of the bench where all the work gets done. The drawers are all set at the right height so that I can get my plates and things and knives and forks, the whole bit. Cruise across, light switches all at the right height. Tea, coffee making facilities are right here. And my pantry. If I want to have a bit of a scoff in the morning, cereals, bread, everything there where I can reach them. I don't have to worry about asking people to help, because there's nothing worse when you're sitting in a wheelchair than having to constantly ask people for assistance. In this house, you don't. I'm independent, which is fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic to be in a Lifemark home. The feeling of freedom for me is sensational. I used to go out to dinner at a friend's place, and 9 times out of 10 you'd get bumped up steps. The hall would often be very narrow, and on more than one occasion I can remember being parked in a little corner somewhere and kind of left with a glass of wine, and that was it. It's no one's fault, it's just that the house was totally unsuitable to someone in a wheelchair. But now with a house that has got the Lifemark tick, I can go anywhere. Not just me. If you have impaired mobility, you'll find a house like this just a breeze. Anyone that comes to visit that suffers as I do with chariot driving afflictions, for them it gives them the ultimate freedom. So for you, for me, for anyone with impaired mobility, these houses are sensational. Declining mobility is an interesting journey. You have people like ACC or the health boards assessing your mobility. In my case, it wasn't ACC, I have multiple sclerosis. So my mobility declined to a point where I needed assistance. I needed to find ways to get in the home. I ultimately wound up with a water lift. Then I had to modify hallways and modify every other darn thing. I would estimate that we spent close to $250,000 in 2 major renovations in an old home. And it's still an old home that's kind of rehashed. So the chance to plan for a new home that accommodates the possibility that people may lose mobility, or even if you wind up selling that home in the future, you're not limited in terms of who purchases it. Because if in our aging population you wind up with someone coming along who has mobility issues, your home, given the Lifemark tick, will be imminently saleable, and it just saves so much. You know, like $250,000. Why on earth? Why not just plan for the future? This place has dramatically changed my life. How would you sum it up? You'd probably say freedom, freedom, freedom. It's just, I have this ability to come cruising in, go anywhere in the home I like. If the kids want me to join them for a game somewhere, then that's a piece of cake. If I want to join people out on the deck for a glass of wine, absolutely no problem. It's designed with me in mind. So in essence, that's it. You want to encapsulate what it's like to live in one of these homes? It's just a feeling of freedom.